Warning. The following podcast contains politics, leftist politics, the whole truth, justice, American way thing. We live in a time where one has to post this. Progress is a dirty word, such as science and reason. My superheroes would weep. This podcast contains naughty language as well.
Everybody in our industry occasionally has to play softball, occasionally has to, look the other way a little bit. Everybody has to do it.
Wait, which one? What? Like a movie
in
that's bad,
the sense that,
or?
I hated a movie, but I won't say that I hated the movie. Or an actor behaved a sort of way, and you don't want to, put it out there that happened.
Right, because you might not get the next review.
Right.
Next
So
gig.
to some degree, everybody in our industry that is a part of this quote-unquote access media has to sort of decide which battles they want to pick.
Yeah. So it turns out that, we were mocked for Suicide Squad winning an Oscar for makeup. It wasn't acting or directing or Best Picture. Yeah, but all of a sudden, winning Oscars for those kind of awards, like costume design, are good now, right? Now that, Black Panther and Disney Marvel won one, it's totally okay to not make fun of Suicide Squad. Yeah, well, well, good. I'm glad we fucking settled that. Oh man, the fucking assholes, dude, of woke Twitter don't want you to watch Aquaman. Apparently, they failed because guess what? It passed $1 billion. Hey guys, watching the Aquaman trailer is clear they're copying the entire Black Panther storyline. Actually, no. Throne of Atlantis came out before the Black Panther movie, and if you're gonna say that, well, you might want to look up Sumerian history between the wars between Enlil and Enki. That's a real place, unlike Wakanda. So, yeah. And what is Whiter Woman if not an imitation of Wonder Woman? And I'm referring to Captain Marvel. There'll be more on that later. But look at this. Time Magazine, the year in review. They only chose one movie featured there. Oh my god, look at this. Oscar Entertainment Weekly. Guess which one they featured? Oh man. Ooh, they even hired Mexican El Chivo, Lubeski, to shoot this cover for Vanity Fair. But guess what? Even though Roma was nominated for more Oscars than Black Panther, Roma was not on the fucking cover, which is shown here in orange. You had to go to the second foldout where the other people were. And then they fucked up on the Golden Globes. And even Jeremy Conrad posted this. Oh, I'm sorry that I said a bad word. I meant Conrad. My English is bad. Yeah, looks like, they won it. They had pre-made winnings for Black Panther here as well. What has the Motion Picture Association of America promoted? Black Panther. Yeah, well, maybe they had several commercials. So here's another commercial. Black Panther. And somebody over here writes, so Disney owns ABC. The Oscars air on ABC. They try to implement a new category to favor Disney winning Oscars. And now all of a sudden 6 Disney films are nominated for Best CGI. Ludicrous, I tell you. Ludicrous. And if you if you happen to be on Twittering around that time, guess who the network airing the Oscars was promoting for Best Picture? That's right. Only one fucking movie out of the ones nominated. So guess what? They tried, and they didn't win Best Picture. And here we have Chadwick Bossman's reaction to Green Book winning. You know, I thought the whole point of like the Oscars are so white was to have more representation. I didn't thought it was about, ooh, you know, let's have Black Panther win, because let's not forget, as soon as they, you know, started the news that they were going to make a Black Panther movie, that's when all of a sudden people were like, yeah, Oscars are so white. And here's his actual reaction. But again, I go back to my original one. Why didn't they pull this shit for, you know, Roma? Why didn't they get upset about, you know, Crazy Rich Asians not been nominated? Why didn't they get upset about female directors? You know, Oscar so male. How come that shit didn't pick up through? Because Disney was airing the Oscars and you don't want to upset Disney. Well, fuck that. Oh, yeah. And to even more upset Disney, guess what? Some asshole printed the Best Animated Picture as a winner for Wreck-It Ralph. Jerk it, Ralph. Keep jerking that mouse, Ralph. Yeah, jerk it, Ralph. Let's get started. All right, everybody. Yeah, I said everybody. You know, non-gender specific, non-race specific. That's how we fucking roll. Everybody is included here. Welcome to DCDomingo 47. We're just gonna call it, I don't know, just a bunch of news happened, so let's talk about that. One of the things we're going to talk about 10 things, you know. We're going to talk about a brand new comic book that I shop now that my old comic book store, my friend's old comic book store got, you know, he decided to close it. We're going to talk about a little bit of that. We're going to talk about the 10th anniversary of Watchmen. We're going to talk about Zack Snyder hosting a seminar on Ultimate Cuts. We're going to talk about briefly about Suicide Squad 2 casting, although I'm just going to go into the perception that this movie will have, kind of getting you guys ready to the kind of bullshit we're going to be dealing with. I engage a dumbass person online, and I'm not going to shame them publicly. That's why this is blurred out, their identity, but I am going to, you know, take you through their thought process and how fucking dumb that is. Affleck versus Spielberg. Talk about the future of movies a little bit. We're also going to talk about AT&T Time Warner deal controversy. We're going to have to talk about the Warner Brothers CEO in trouble controversy. Also, we're going to talk about the awesome Shazam reviews that it's getting. You know, 3 weeks prior, you know, the review embargo got lifted, and it was almost like, you know, like a bitch slap to the competition. And speaking of which, we're going to talk about Marvel Studios, Marvel's Captain Marvel, not Marvelous. Wow. Fucking mouthful. And we're going to wrap it up with Glass and Aquaman on DVD later on. Alright, so topic number 1. So as you can see here, these are two new little figurines that I picked up, Ocean Master and Black Manta here in my computer. I did go to buy Doomsday Clock, issue 9. It was sold out. It's almost like they don't really order that many, or the issue is selling really well. I went to look for it on payday, which was Friday. They released it on Wednesday and it was sold out. So I decided to, you know what? I'm going to start a new box in a new comic book store. It felt kind of weird because I know the people who operate this this comic book store since it was called Fantasy Books and Games, and now it's on 7th Street here in Santa Rosa. So, if I make friends there, I might want to expand my podcast and invite more DC fans, less Marvel people. They've had their time. So yeah, I will be reviewing comics again because I need to go through my old stuff and finish it. All right, let's move on to another topic. So we celebrated Watchmen, the 10-year anniversary. I actually watched the extended cut, the ultimate cut. You know, that 4 hours and with the Black Freighter and stuff. Boy, I was really tired from work. I closed the blinds and I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie. I was so surprised. I'm like, dude, they did so fucking much with so little. I have seen all the background, filming stuff, and yeah, they did so much with so little. Like all the sets and stuff, they reused them and stuff. I was fortunate enough to see this in IMAX. I was like, yeah. And look at it. We went at 10:45 at night. Holy shit. Now that's dedication right there, dude. It's fucking dedication. A 3-hour movie at 11 p.m. Oh my god. Fucking crazy. Now you know why my room looks like the way it is, man. It was an amazing fucking film to see on IMAX. All the posters that I have is because I love the movie so much. I have the Watchmen movie review for anybody who wants to dispute the claim that it's awesome. It's fucking there, and it was actually nice seeing Warner Brothers on social media, not only just here in Twitter, but also on Instagram and Facebook, just kind of be like, yeah, this fucking movie's awesome, yeah. So it looks like they got their balls back, so I love it. Snyder Cut, please. Speaking of Snyder Cut, he is hosting a 3-day seminar. And, I unfortunately cannot attend. I know. That'd be nice, though, but they're fucking expensive tickets, man. If I am kind of lucky, I might actually pick up a shirt, because I didn't pick up a shirt of the fundraiser. I have to save for school and work. I'm sorry. But yeah, I gotta pick my battles here and there. Hopefully they'll release the Snyder Cut. I know that Clay Enos, the photographer who worked with, Zack Snyder, said it was kind of a big deal for the Snyder Cut to be released. But I think he was talking about, he also said on Twitter that, things were taken out of context and stuff like that. But he did clarify that, there's a lot of work to be done to release these kind of things. Hopefully, so he wasn't saying don't expect it soon or expect it soon. I think he was just preparing people to kind of understand what if they say oh, we're going to release it this Christmas, just to kind of hey, calm the fuck down, let them finish it because it takes so much. Or if they're going to release it in Comic-Con, so that people can be we've been working on this for so fucking long. So either way, it'll be awesome. And I might actually do another podcast on March when, this little 3-day weekend event goes down and we get some more news on the Snyder Cut by the, El Jefe himself. Now, you've been following me. I'm not a big fan of James Gunn. The only movie he wrote was the one Zack Snyder directed that I liked. So, Idris Elba replacing Will Smith in Deadshot. That's cool for Idris Elba. He deserves to be a superhero. If he's not going to be, 007, go for it. the other news was that King Shark was rumored to be in the cast, as well as Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. I'm using this to plug in the Flash TV show where King Shark showed up, so you guys can see the awesome, amazing battle between King Shark versus Grodd. It looks pretty fucking epic, and me and the family are gonna watch it this weekend on the big screen TV in the living room. And you know, I have this awesome thing to say about the state of media. You have this headline: Harley Quinn not expected to be in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and below, update: Harley Quinn is expected to appear in the Suicide Squad. So yeah, clickbait and more fucking clickbait, which is no surprise why like dumb fucks just go to like Reddit or 4chan and be like, I'm smart. So let's go ahead and take down some dumbass notes here. This is on Facebook, and one of my lady friends was talking shit about Suicide Squad. And, I don't know what the fuck was going on with her in her life. Maybe she went to see the movie with a bunch of Marvelites and were like, this movie is sucked, So, if you go into the movie where all your guy buddies are like, yeah, this movie sucks, you should just say it sucks, it fucking sucks, you're probably going to believe that shit too, right? Or maybe she just read a bunch of bullshit, or hangs out with people like that who are like, let's go Marvel. So, the anime person, I don't know why the fuck, but on social media, when you see an anime as as your main avatar or main picture, you kind of, what the fuck to expect, man. They're the fucking worst, dude. So there it is. This anime idiot types, he told a gross joke. No, it wasn't just a joke. But he apologized, and the right-wingers hunted him down to defame him. Ooh, defame. That sounds like you're going to bring a lawsuit. Yeah, well, if he had balls, he would have sued them back, right? But guess what? There's more than one joke. And then the person that I actually was arguing with, they said, oh, he used to be an edgelord dark comedian. So what? If you are an asshole, you can't just use comedy as a fucking shield. That's like saying, hey, Hitler was an artist. The whole fucking thing he did was a giant art program. No, consequences. So, again, all joke tweets, bad jokes, like 10 years ago. Totally apologize for it. Learn from it. And then she posted this bullshit about, the truth about James Gunn, medium.com. And guess what? She has 8 followers. Like, I have more fucking followers, and I'm not even that popular. And I don't even think I don't even know if the person that I was arguing with, it's Jonina Rebecca, or I don't know what the fuck it is, because I was expecting a giant piece by the LA or New York Times, right? No, it's some fucking dark corner of the web where like nobody gives a fuck. And guess what this bullshit article is? A bunch of subreddits and Reddit posts that this person copy and paste, did some Googling, and it's like, hey, I'm a journalist. All right, so it's bullshit. And here I am with Orange. Using the hashtag fuck your white privilege, because I'm tired of people just kind of like saying, well, you don't know nothing because you're a brownie. So there you go. I underlined consequences, like Trump with all his jokes. All right. And this paragraph was a little bit bigger, so I'm going to show you more detail. So I talked about the fascist 4chan Reddit right-wing mentality. I also talk about how it wasn't until James Gunn took aim at Trump that left and right care. Because previous to that, big almighty Disney was protecting him. I also pointed out the underage theme parties, it's almost like, hey, the Klan is not racist because they're just having a party. They're having a ironic Klan theme party in the woods, and they just happen to light up a fucking cross. No, you are what you fucking are, It's like when like frat boys, do racist shit and they get in trouble. How come is it that like dumbass frat boys who are in a frat house get in trouble for horribly disturbing theme parties, but James Gunn doing underage parties is totally okay? Fuck that. So yeah, I typed that, whiteness brainwashed his followers, just like Trump, and I even mentioned that a week before getting his ass handed to him, he made fun of Jared Leto. And guess what this dumbass person said? Nothing. Regardless of how anyone feels, continuing to pass rumors. It's a serious accusation. Not slamming you, like, I'm not really talking about you. I'm just saying it's a rumor. So then I kind of replied, like, I made a typo. I meant to type because, but I type become. But more on that later. So I said, sometimes pressure pays off. See R. Kelly and the Me Too movement. You are what you joke about. And I asked this serious question: can you name a single celebrity of color who has 10,000 anti-Semitic jokes on Twitter that's still like, well, he was just joking. He was like, he's not an anti-Semite. He's just a comedian. No, fuck that. What did she pick up on? Did you just tell me to become like Trump? Because, like, no, thank you. So all of my fucking points mean nothing to this fucking asshole. And that is how trolls operate. You keep bringing ammunition, and then just like, I'm just like in my little bubble, and I'm gonna like talk about my points. I'm gonna ignore all the points that you brought up, underage theme parties and R. Kelly and the accusations and did you just tell me to become like Trump? Yeah, so this is the kind of bullshit that we're gonna be fucking dealing with, James fucking Gunn. And again, here are the details. This is everything that this dumbass fucking person didn't have the ovaries to fucking come at me, And that's the fucking problem, is that when you know that you're fucking winning because they're not responding to the facts that you bring, So yeah, fuck James Gunn, fuck his fans, and fuck Suicide Squad 2. I am not watching that. And speaking of listening to the ladies, we have a local problem. Kevin Tatsuhara, who is from Petaluma, he apologized to staff following misconduct of a sexy nature or sexual nature. And how do I put it? If you go to the actual article by the Hollywood Reporter, it's lengthy as fuck. They do have a statement from the actress involved in this, and she did say that like everything that she did it willingly, but it's also shady as fuck, because in these texts you kind of realize that these other two guys from Rat Pack Entertainment, Brett Ratner and also James Packer, you see that both of these two other guys were kind of like telling this model, an actress, being like, hey, don't be stupid, you don't fuck the CEO, you need to fuck the director, hint hint, and the casting directors to get what you want. It's a really fucking shady process. And I've always said that, like, the reason why, like, there was some kind of friction behind the scenes is that Rat Pack Entertainment no longer works for Warner Brothers. You know, if you recall, a while ago, Olivia Munn, she backed up women accusing Brett Ratner. You know, it's like, well, that's the thing, though. It's like, you know, kind of like the person that I was arguing with, who was defending James Gunn. If it's casting and the actors are willing to go for it, is it sexual harassment? I mean, I like to think that it depends on the consenting adults, you know? If the reason why, like, women haven't come forth and accused James Gunn of, like, offering, like, you know, porn casting is because, well, I'm doing porn. I guess this is what they do. Compared to, like, well, I guess I'm an actress. I'm better than a porn actress. You know, that is for consenting adults to decide. And when women don't feel comfortable, press charges. You know, I could open the door for someone, and 20 years later, they'll be like, you know, that was sexual harassment. I feel uncomfortable. And then you'll be like, I guess we're going to have to go with that. So, yeah. So, anyways, Tatsuhara issued an apology, but this looks fucked up. And again, I don't know. I don't want to play conspiracy theories because it seems like, you know, he just wanted to fuck, you know, the actress. Now, it seems that this news came out really fucking fast right after the Time Warner AT&T deal went through, almost day and fucking night. So, how do I put it? We do need to believe women coming forth, and this particular actress only released this information to the Hollywood Reporter because she was writing a memoir of her, you know, of her life in Hollywood. And you kind of have to go for, like, kind of realize, hey, what are they doing? You know, what's going on? Now, since this fucking debacle, they've actually shown, you know, like I've actually shown you guys that Brett Ratner is no longer working with Warner Brothers, and Access Media has purchased their stake. Tatsuhara did issue an apology, but how times are, I would definitely restructure. You know, I would have him step aside and just for better PR, put someone there who has a lot of experience and who has better judgment. Okay, next fucking topic. Let's see. We're going to talk about Affleck versus Spielberg. That's what they were titling at. Ben Affleck supports Netflix amid Steven Spielberg criticism, says the Boston Globe or the Boston Times, one of those Boston. And I agree. You know, Steven Spielberg, I think, has made a mistake here. I understand where he's coming from. You know, there was that Casey Affleck film that was, distributed by Amazon, and that got Casey Affleck the Oscar win. Now there were two films nominated from streaming services. One was Cold War, the other one was Roma. And, you know, I don't want to be an asshole at all, but, you know, it's almost like, how do I put this? It's almost like you were here. If you research the outrage, you will see that they put Roma and Yaritza as the face that Spielberg's hating. It's a little bit fucking racist baiting, in my opinion, and I'm Mexican, because if you Google, you know, Oscar choices, like I've shown you in the intro, it was all Black Panther they were promoting. even in thumbnails, Google fucking, top Oscar contenders for Oscars, and you'll get most of them had Black Panther on their thumbnails and on their pictures. Roma was kind of like, added to or, next to, but it wasn't the main one. Count him if you want to. Make your own fucking video. Prove me wrong. But in this instance, they really were like, ooh, we need to grab Roma to make Spielberg look like a fucking asshole. No, Spielberg's not an asshole, but I disagree with him. And so does Netflix. This is what they put on Twitter, which is great, by the way. We love cinema. Here are some things we also love. Access for people who can't always afford or live in towns without theaters. Letting everyone everywhere enjoy release at the same time, giving filmmakers more ways to share art. These things are not mutually exclusive, and I totally agree. Now, I have a crazy fucking idea. You guys can have it for free. If you have a Netflix membership, they should release the app on your phone so that you get to access these movies at the cinema for free. Yeah, that's right. I know that AT&T wants to have their own streaming service, kind of like DC Universe. Fuck yeah. If you want to go see Aquaman and, you get DC access, maybe they'll give you a discount. I don't know. You buy your ticket on your main app or, like that. I don't know. Some fucking perk. Or like if you go, hey, I want to use a free movie from my app from the Warner Brothers studio, and then like, okay, well, we'll let you in the theater for free, and then you get a poster on the mail, or I don't know, fucking something, because Paramount's doing their online streaming service. Disney's gonna fucking do it, and Sony's been doing it for a while. Sony is fucking cheap because they don't allow you passes on their new movies, which is fucking bullshit. So one thing that they can do to keep cinema alive for movie files is that if I have Amazon Prime and there's a movie called Cold War out in the cinema, hey, let me fucking in for free. I'm an Amazon consumer. Why the fuck not? Because, sure, I could watch it free at home, but if you do want to enjoy that cinema experience, I think they should give you perks or even a fucking discount, dude. So you go to the cinema and experience that. So what will happen is that ideally you'll buy a soda or popcorn. I don't like that shit anymore. I like if I'm gonna spoil myself with soda, I'll get the ices, just frozen. Now in my local theater, they've been serving wine, beer, and pizza, so I might actually enjoy that more. Yeah, if they do that, because right now movies are fucking expensive, so they need to pick it up somehow. So I don't think that Affleck is wrong, and I do think that Spielberg is trying to save cinema. However, Spielberg does live in a bubble because us Latinos, as minorities, African Americans, Asian Americans, we're kind of like the ones who go to the movies more often. So if you kind of see that movies are in decline, hey, market to us, man. We're not asking for much, we're not asking you to shoehorn a fucking talentless idiot, but there's so many good stories that you can kind of feature us here and there, and that's it. I'm not asking for much. Just kind of look around your town, put that shit on screen. All right, so, oh man, amidst so many fucking news, this one came to me as a surprise because I hadn't heard anything about it. And, out of all those fucking clickbait people and YouTube people who were like, oh my god, is the DC Universe in trouble? What can Warner Brothers do? They need to reboot. None of those fuckers ever said, hey guys, this deal of AT&T purchasing Time Warner, the merger, do you think that because it has been hijacked or blocked, by Gary Kahn. Do you think that maybe that giant block, I think, lasted for like months? Do you think maybe that block had something to do with, Warner Brothers not green lighting 500 million Superman sequels that we all want? I mean, fuck, dude. Seriously, like, how many serious YouTubers have actually talked about this in a way that makes fucking sense? Like, nobody. Where the fuck is Collider and IGN? Those fucking hacks who always have like, ooh, we have a scoop. The cat is cute on Captain Marvel. I mean, they don't fucking do this shit, Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? And I brought it up on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm like, I think this has something to do with them not taking giant risks. Maybe that's why they push Batman, because it's a big fucking movie and it requires a big fucking budget. Also, a sequel to Superman and stuff like that. They did greenlight Wonder Woman because it was easy. It was going to be self-contained in the 80s, and you could, based on this deal, pump more money for special effects or less. You could allocate funds for this kind of movies that was going to like give you good stuff, good results. And here's the other thing. Marvel CEO is the shadow head of the Department of Veteran Affairs, and he's had other roles. The Marvel CEO and Trump go together, and which is why I think they're looking into perjury or some kind of like something against Trump, because this is fucked up. This is against the rules. A sitting president cannot ask to intervene in a merger, because CNN is hated by Trump, and your buddy is the Marvel CEO. I mean, fuck that shit. And again, if you go to all the channels that are like angry at Captain Marvel, these fuckers won't mention this. It's not in their politics. They don't talk about this shit. There's no views in there. There's no views in the truth. You just want to like kind of poke what people perceive as true, and that's it. That's all there is. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on this, because this is the biggest fucking thing. I don't know, man. It's very fucking amusing to me when people are like, "Oh, Sergio, Warner Brother movies aren't as good as the Disney ones," and there is like, don't be so conspiracy theorist about it. And then I show them this, and they're like, well, there's no collusion. So you're telling me that like movie critics are pristine and not corrupt, but somehow like, oh yeah, the White House is totally corrupt, but movie critics, oh no, they're the bastion of journalism.
Everybody in our industry occasionally has to play softball, occasionally has to, look the other way a little bit. Everybody has to do it.
Wait, which one? What? Like a movie that's bad? In the sense that,
I hated a movie, but I won't say that I hated the movie. Or an actor behaved a sort of way, and you don't want to, put it out there that happened.
Right, because you might not get the next review.
Right. So to some degree, everybody in our industry that is a part of this quote unquote access media has to sort of decide which battles they want to pick.
Damn, that soundbite is making the rounds, and it's a good starting point for, Captain Marvel. I have, for the past 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week, I've just been going to YouTube and finding a lot of very interesting channels. And the way the YouTube algorithm works is that if you like one of their stuff, they'll, suggest something similar. And by coincidence, most of the videos tend to be kind of, conservative, or they hate feminism, or they hate, things that we as liberals hold dear. The only pattern that I'm seeing is that, how should I put this? It's that a lot of these people don't like to be told what to do. I've made fun of truckers who were mad at Obama for, asking them to have cleaner trucks. And they're like, fuck you, I'm going to burn coal. And they even install these ridiculous black smoke spewing fucking things out of their trucks, just I think that's how the U.S. tends to work. People are like, you can't go to the moon. Oh yeah, watch me. And that's how a lot of these things are. And one video kind of made it clear is that if you poke someone with a fork and you call them, hey asshole, hey asshole, hey asshole, hey asshole, hey asshole, eventually he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to act like an asshole to knock their shit off. So a lot of these right-wingers, they don't like to be told what to think. And as an audience and appreciator of art, I've always said this, show, don't tell. A lot of these reviewers didn't have a fucking problem with Ripley from Aliens being a badass female icon because the filmmakers chose to show, not tell. You can create amazing, powerful stories that have social justice in them. You just have to show, not tell. What is Saving Private Ryan if not an anti-fascist movie? No one hates that movie, right? But if you make a movie with somebody who just makes a point to point out what they are standing for instead of showing it, you're gonna fail. Now, so again, I think most of the people who were angry with The Last Jedi were also accused of, oh, you just don't like women, even though that wasn't it. And what I found about YouTube's algorithm is that they fucking bundle you with that shit. So for instance, all these videos that I've seen, all of a sudden they're showing me shit from right-wingers. They're like, oh, immigration, Trump, Ben Shapiro, and I'm like, I don't like that shit. Just show me what these critics are saying, and it's fucked up because we have, as we've seen, shills. Remember how comicbook.com had that an amazing poll that they took down because Batman vs Superman won over Civil War. Well, the same asshole, over here, in my opinion, is the plot holes are stupid to point out. Only when it refers to Disney, because over here, why does Wonder Woman need a flying Turkish airline? She has her own invisible plane. And yeah, you can joke that, he's being a sarcastic asshole, but again, that's the kind of people that we're dealing with. So, everybody started to freak out when this happened over at Rotten Tomatoes, where they took down the I don't want to see this movie score, which is, kind of fucking ridiculous because, it went down to 27%. Now, if you want to do the math, what is 13,000% of users who want to see that versus 7 billion people on Earth? That's fucking low. Or how many users does Rotten Tomato has in total compared to 13,000? So they shot themselves in the foot. And you can kind of see them go, wait a minute. You can kind of see people kind of freaking out. And, you had the preemptive bullshit of all negative reviews for Captain Marvel are for men. And that's not true. Actually, you have almost 3,000 replies showing you different screenshots of women reviews, YouTubers, a lot of fucking people going, bullshit. This is not true. I posted something like, oh yeah, and only Democrats criticize Trump. Not conservatives also criticize Trump. So it's fucking bullshit. And you could see that people were fucking panicking. Something went up and everybody freaked out. So, we joked that somebody tried to make Captain Marvel trend and they spelled it wrong on International Women's Day. Yeah. Captain Mabel. What's a Mabel? Is that a male navel? Is it like an old lady called Mabel? Come and get your candy. And boom, when I woke up the other day, almost 60,000 reviews made this movie go to 32% in audience score. And guess what happened? They took 50,000 of them out. Now, as somebody pointed out earlier, yeah, it could have been bots and stuff, but for as many as 1-star review, there were equally as many 10-star reviews. So they weren't taking down bad reviews, but they were leaving top reviews. And some people are like, oh no, it's not true. I'm like, well, you know how it is with the internet. You can't really believe everything, but guess what? You have Google, you have the internet, use it. So I was watching the quartering, and they'll show this one. I'll make it very simple and clear. And I'm like, it couldn't fucking happen. So they showed them live going on Google, and I couldn't believe it myself, but it's true. Try it right now. Just fucking go there. Type in Captain Marvel reviews. Boom. You'll get the same fucking shit right here. I'll make it very simple and clear. This is a fucking scam. And this channel, Salvagetron, showed the amount of likes and dislikes. And you can kind of see that Rotten Tomatoes is amping up, or they're dumping all these reviews in batches. And they're removing the bad reviews, the dislikes, and they're amping the likes on the audience meter. So yeah, it seems a little fucking crazy, because like if you've taken math, you know that information usually goes like up and down, like a little heartbeat, boop boop boop. Yeah, it's never a straight fucking line. That shows rigged. That actually shows collusion. Yeah. Now, I took this picture Saturday morning, because when I was a kid, Saturday morning is when you go see the movies. I remember giant lines for Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, even the prequels had giant lines on Saturday mornings. Yay! No one. Look at that. Captain Marvel, there is no fucking line over there. Now my buddy was like, well, it's because it's kind of a shitty weather. I'm like, that didn't stop us when we were younger, and we fucking went to the movie theater. Now it's reserved seating. So it's even better. Like you can still form in line and get your tickets that way, because you're like, well, I might actually get better seating. So if it's, if somebody canceled, I might go and check out a movie. But no. So what is the problem with this? I think Marvel painted themselves into a corner. I should explore it more. I did explore it on my podcast, DC versus the MCU, and I blame baby boomers, because Marvel marketed themselves to the baby boomers, and they were mostly white males. Sure, they had mutants before minorities. They had Black Panther, but they really didn't do much. As long as the white dudes were in charge, they never really gave a fuck to diversify it. It's like, yeah, sure, Storm was taking orders from Xavier, and, Hawk was like, Captain America's sidekick, shit like that. They never really gave a fuck. And it wasn't really organic. You didn't have like a Jon Stewart next to a Green Lantern. You didn't have Wonder Woman back in the 40s, and you can tell that they painted themselves into a corner, because all of a sudden they're changing characters. If the African American Iron Man woman, Riri, if she was the daughter of War Machine, and somehow, Tony Stark took her under his wing and showed her everything, that would have been cool. I don't think anybody would have been like, hey, fuck this, but they didn't do that. Kind of like Jaime Reyes is like Blue Beetle, even though like the other Blue Beetles are still canon. You can't remove what has come before you. Even, you can't like whitewash your whitewashing history. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think they painted themselves into a corner, and they're like, ooh, women go to see movies with Wonder Woman. We should totally market that, because guess what? Black Panther was only advertised after Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers announced the Cyborg movie. So yeah. Now an interesting thing that I realized is that, fuck, dude, this shit is hella shady. Like, I look at this shit. I was on Facebook, and I was seeing all these like Captain Marvel advertising. So I was like, why am I seeing this ad? Oh, well, fuck this. Remove Marvel Studios. Okay, good. Removed. What the fuck? I'm still seeing those fucking commercials. Marvel Entertainment. Of course I'm gonna remove that shit. Alright. Good. Remove that shit. Oh, more fucking Captain Marvel shit. What the fuck, Marvel Universe? Fucking A, man. And guess what? I'm still fucking seeing Captain Marvel. It's almost... yeah. And when I clicked on this fucking thing to see why the fuck was I watching this shit, Build-A-Bear Workshop. It's like, why am I seeing it? I couldn't, remove it. So even though if you remove all that shit from Facebook, Facebook knows what you've been watching, and they'll target you. So yeah, it's fucking scary. So you can see the algorithm working for Rotten Tomatoes to make this movie look better. You can see that they're allowing fake bots, good reviews, to remain there, but the bad ones are taken out. And you're also seeing how advertising tracking is making you aware of this movie, even if you don't want to fucking follow Marvel on social media. I'm glad that I'm documented all this. Alrighty, so a while ago we had this Luis Fernando posting that the hype for Shazam, the original Captain Marvel, in Brazil is already insane. CCXP organizers are at the moment with a live poll asking which superhero movie their followers are more excited to see in 2019 at the moment is Shazam. 45% over Avengers Endgame. Look at their faces. Yeah, man. DC is big in Brazil, big in South America, big in China, and parts of Europe. So not everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. Here we have all the posts that Sandberg, who is the director of Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, Shazam, posted on Instagram. So yeah, it is kind of nice that and ballsy that the embargo is lifted 3 months in advance instead of 3 days, like the other Captain Marvel, who's getting crapped all over. So yeah, great fucking news for Shazam, the original Captain Marvel. And I'm gonna keep using that hashtag, because why the fuck not? Alright, and to leave you with an even better taste, oh man, April 16 can't get here sooner with Glass finally coming out. I am going to try and hunt down a copy of the Steelbook from Target, which is sold out already. But there's always going to be people selling that stuff on eBay. On the 26th of March, the 4K Blu-ray also of Aquaman comes out. And it's going to be fucking awesome. iTunes has been advertising like crazy a bunch of Marvel shit on my Twitter feed, and I'm like, fuck that. So when I saw that they were actually promoting Aquaman, I was like, yay, give them a little, a little love. So I know, it's fucking algorithms, dude. Fuck that, because when you go to online stores, boom, Aquaman, it's right there on top before Jerk It Ralph breaks the internet and Spider-Verse, or as I like to call it, White Chaperone, Spidey. And, the coolest thing is that Aquaman is going to be a big release with the Walmart peeps. They have these displays, and you can get a free poster with the digital purchase. And look at those prices, man. They're really selling you like the DVDs and Blu-rays for the Justice League, the Dark Knight trilogy, some animated stuff like the Flash, Aquaman stuff. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. They're going all out. I don't really care for these like shiny covers. I'm gonna get something better, but it's cool. People laugh at the people from the Midwest who don't get a lot of love from the from their liberal coast. But dude, my family and I used to go to Walmart all the time here in the West liberal coast, and it was fine. I miss those days, so I'm glad that DC's going and checking that out. Anyways, that will do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. DLC DC.